anyone I'm meeting for the first time, whether it's a new coworker or a new mutual friend, if it's a relationship of consequence, meaning it's somebody I'm usually going to interact with multiple times in the foreseeable future, anyone that kind of fits into this sphere of my life, I like to ask them a very direct question. I like to ask them, "What's your secret?" And I ask this question pretty much across the board, regardless of age or gender or any other dynamics, whether it's, a professional relationship or a personal one. I like to ask this question to people. I like to throw this question at people because it gets people out of the normal kind of introduction phase of relationships. It kind of gets people off their game. But I've got to say that despite asking this question, I don't know, in excess of 500 times at this point, I feel like, I only really get 3 responses. And maybe if you'd like to imagine how you would respond, you can kind of play along. So imagine that I've just sat across the table from you and I've asked you, "What's your secret?" And we'll see if your response fits into one of these 3 patterns. So the first response I get, by far the most common response that I get, is, "Well, I don't have any secrets." And man, I really hate getting this response. This one really makes my blood boil. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm just a little bit cynical, or because I'm a little bit distrusting of the world, but for some reason I've got it in my head that everyone has secrets and everyone has things that they kind of want to hide. And whenever I meet people that give me this response, which is an overwhelming majority of them, by the way, but whenever I meet these kinds of people, it just kind of makes me slightly envious. I mean, it makes me envious in the sense that, man, how nice it would be to not have any secrets. And I guess in the other sense, it kind of makes me slightly suspicious. But needless to say, it's a very common response. I would say the second most common response I get is something along the lines of this: "Well, if I told you, it wouldn't be a secret." I get that response quite a bit, and even though I don't really enjoy it, it's not very titillating, it's not very exciting, I can respect it nonetheless. I can kind of, in effect, say, okay, well, at least this person's being, honest with me, and they've got something that they want to keep close to themselves, and hey, I can't really drag it out of them kicking and screaming, but, interesting nonetheless. Kind of piques my interest, piques my curiosity. Yeah, but the third response I get, by far the most interesting, and I would also say by far the most rare, it's the one that whenever I get this response, I know that I'm interacting with a person that I'm going to deal with very, very well, that we're just kind of on the same wavelength. And the third response goes like this. It's like, "Well, if you tell me yours, I'll tell you mine." And I'm a pretty curious guy.